You are watching the True Word Television, spreading the true word of salvation.
Oh yeah, Uganda mwena abali e Toronto mu Canada.
Have you been missing your favorite organic taste from Uganda? Blessing Supermarket 3601 Lawrence Avenue East in Scarborough greatly welcomes you to shop with us the organic matoke, lumonde, amayuni, muwogo, amenvu, omlondo, engege, emputa, entula, ebinyebwa both pounded and nuts, ebijanjalo, mukene, goa sugarcane, maganja maize flour for both posho and porridge, katunkuma, endagala, akaro obushera, and many more not mentioned.
Yeah, at Blessing Supermarket, we are open Monday
to Thursday 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. Friday to Saturday 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Sunday 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Come and shop with us. You will not regret.
Call us on 416-4573-513. Alternatively, call 416-289-9333.
Let's all go to Blessing Supermarket in Scarborough.
Hello and welcome to today's episode of Live Limitless with Dr. Sade. How are you? It is so good to be with you in this episode. If you're joining for the very first time, a warm welcome to you. We meet here once every week and I would love to have you engaged. If you are a regular viewer, thank you again for joining today and let's go. So, my name is Dr. Sade. I am your host on this program, and this is a program where we develop the leadership potentials of women and girls. We help you leverage your strengths and become the best version of yourself. So, what are we talking about today? Before we go into it, I hope you have downloaded the self-discovery workbook that I talked about in a previous episode. If you haven't already downloaded it, please do. We're also going to attach the link to the comment section of this episode. It's very important for you to know yourself, map out your values, your goals, your dreams, your visions, so that you're not living another person's life. You're living the life that you dream of, the life that you were born to live. We'll talk about it again in a little while, but utilize that workbook. It will help you just brain dump and just put down the things that are important to you, the things that brought you to where you are and where you want to go. Okay, so what's today's episode? Are we ready? 3 types of friends that we all need, and another 3 types of friends that we all need to avoid as women and girls who want to live out our potentials and live limitless. Okay, if you have any comments as I talk and as I speak on this topic, if you have any questions, please feel free to drop it in the comment section and we will engage in a conversation about it. I like to hear your experiences. I like to hear if you've come across some of these people before, or if you've had experiences or you know of some experiences that might be valuable for us to share. So, when I use the term friend, I want you to understand that I'm using it loosely, okay? Friend can mean friends, actual friends that you relate with voluntarily on a regular basis. It could also mean your community. It can even be family. Just anyone in your circle of influence who is supposed to have your back, who is supposed to provide support to you, from whom you can expect support, okay? So when I say friends, I mean your circle of support. I mean your circle of influence. That said, we define friends as people with whom you have personal connections. You have made some deliberate commitment to having a relationship with them and you kind of communicate pretty regularly. Community, on the other hand, would be anyone in your general environment who shares some similarities in views, and it could just be from you, by virtue of you being from the same locality, from the same country kind of thing, or same fellowship, something you are in the same locality, you do things together, and you can expect to be a source of support for one another. That's what I'm defining community as. So people with whom you don't have necessarily personal relationships, but who are in your sphere of influence. Okay. So I just want you to be aware that every time I say friend, I want you to extend the characteristics that I'm discussing to community, to immediate family, people who are around you who should be able to support you, and in a measured level, attach the same level of discretion to your relationship with them. So that if you see relationships where you're being encouraged to flourish, you know you need to gravitate towards those communities. And if you find relationships that are becoming toxic, then you know whether they're friends or communities that you need to begin to check yourself. So as a professional who deals with women and children, as you can imagine, I come across a lot of personal stories about friendships and relationships and the impacts that they have on lives of women who have dreams, who have goals, who have aspirations, and who want to live limitless. I recently met Sarah, and she was at the point where she was looking to start her own business, but she was really, really full of self-doubt. She didn't have a lot of confidence in what she was about to do, and she had a lot of fear of failure. Not so much because she didn't think that what she wanted to do could succeed. She had seen other people succeed in it, but the fear, just personal doubts, was what she was dealing with. And in working with her, it was very, very important for me to understand the kind of support she had around her. And she was in such a good place that, having interacted with communities and friends over time, we were able to identify certain individuals who were able to stand by her. There was one that was able to provide her valuable advice and kind of engage in her plan as she went along. Another one was actually able to contribute directly because they had a skill that she could use in her business, which she wasn't looking to leverage. So the people around us are very critical in that they can be the difference between us actually pursuing our goals or giving up on them. That said, she was able to go ahead and pursue her plan. And I tell you this story to tell you that I cannot emphasize enough the importance of watching who you surround yourself with. The importance of solid support systems in your life, especially as a woman, because we're emotional beings, right? We are very, very emotional, and we literally wear our emotions on our sleeves, like the saying goes. That is why, consciously or unconsciously, it's because of that fact of wearing our emotions on our sleeves that we operate in a continuum. That's why something happens at home before you go to work and you are very somber at work and you're unfriendly and you want to keep to yourself and you don't want to talk to anybody. something happens at work, you get home and you snap at your children. It's because we do not separate things, and we're not able to deal with issues in isolation. So we operate in a continuum, and it's very, very important for us to be careful where we lend our emotional power. Okay, so that said, I'm going to identify for us some of the reasons why we need to be very, very careful what associations we are keeping. One, we need emotional support. When you're pursuing your dreams, you're going to come across challenges. It is not if, it is a matter of when. So you're going to have things that would discourage you, and sometimes the journey can be very, very lonely. You've heard it said that it's lonely at the top. It's because there are not many people that can buy into your dream many times. Not many people understand the journey you're taking because they don't know where you're coming from, right? That's why it's very important to have people who are support for you, whether or not they understand where you're coming from or where you're going. Just knowing that they are in your corner and they have your best interest at heart. That can be very, very helpful as we look to stay motivated and focused as women who have purpose and drive. Another reason we need to be very cognizant of these relationships is accountability, right? If you have a supportive network where you know you'll be held accountable, where someone is going to ask, oh, how far with that plan you told me about? How can I support you? What can I do for you? Just knowing that somebody else is invested in your success is a driver, right, for you to stay committed to that vision. It happened to me very recently where someone very dear to me I knew was going to ask me about a certain project that I was on, and I wanted to make sure that by the time they asked that I had some answer, just even to see the joy on their face when I was telling them how far I had gone with the project was a driver for me. If I ever thought not to continue, I was like, oh no, what am I going to say when they ask me where is this project and how can I help? So such things can be a driver to just keep you focused on your dream and your vision. The third reason is that it is essential for networking. So a supportive network can help you connect with people who will be aids and supports on your journey. They can provide mentors, sponsors, or resources that can help you advance, whether it's in your career, in your business, or in your personal pursuit. Now, having said that, it does not necessarily mean that those people will be those things to you. But even just knowing that you have people supporting you will make you go out and look for those resources. It will encourage you to look for those mentorships. It will encourage you to look for those sponsorships just to get that project going. So just having people in your corner will actually help your networking abilities. Another thing, and this is the last one I will say before we go into the actual traits of the people we're looking out for, is to have inspiration and role models. We've discussed about it in the past that as women we're very influential. You will not know how influential you are, but somebody is watching you. Somebody is doing something they're doing because of you or because they see you do it. And it's incredible how much as women we motivate one another and even the younger generation coming after us, because representation matters, right? When you see someone who looks like you, who behaves like you, who feels like you, attaining something, it's a clear message that you can be that. Versus when you're just walking on hope and assumption. Overall, having a supportive network can provide women with encouragement, resources, and inspirations needed to achieve their goals and overcome obstacles. If that meant anything to you, if you understood it, if you have any questions, please leave me a comment in the comment section. I really would like to hear what that said to you. I also would like to know if you've had occasion where just having people in your corner was the difference between you achieving what you set out to do and not. Okay? So we're going to go straight into what are the 3 types of friends you need. Are you ready? I'm talking about the friends that are essential to have in your support network. the friends that will help you attain your vision, the friends that will take you into purpose, the friends that will support you into becoming the best version of yourself. Number one type of friend that you need is who I call the cheerleader. Yes, you need a cheerleader. Someone who encourages you, someone who celebrates you, they motivate you. They celebrate your achievements. They remind you who you are. They remind you what you're worth. They never let you feel less than you are because they're always cheering you on. You know, having a cheerleader friend can be incredibly beneficial for women who want to attain their dreams. The reason is that they offer the much needed encouragement and support and positivity which we need to stay motivated and focused when the going gets tough. Again, because we're women and we tend to over internalize things, sometimes you just need someone to say, lift your head high, adjust that crown, you got this. You know, that friend who constantly reminds you of your skills, of your talents, who sings of your abilities, that friend that always lifts you and make you know that you can do it. The one that often sends you encouraging text messages, reminding you you have what it takes to succeed. The one that checks on you. So how are you feeling today? So how is that project going? So what about the thing we talked about the last time? I hope it's going well. I'm just checking on you. We all need that friend. It helps you stay focused. It helps you stay motivated to succeed and to complete projects. So whether you're starting your own business or going through a tough time in your personal life, that is the one friend that often reminds you that you have the strength to carry through. Encourages you to focus on your positive qualities rather than your flaws. Yes, they recognize that you have weaknesses. They know you have flaws, but they also know you have the ability to push through. And you need that cheerleader friend who will render unwavering support and help you to regain confidence all the time and move forward. Do you know any cheerleader in your life? Put something down in the comment section for me. Let me know if you know someone like that. If someone came to your mind as I described the cheerleader, who are the cheerleaders or cheerleader, or who is the cheerleader in your life who help you to keep motivated and stay focused? The second type of friend that every woman of vision needs is a challenger. Yes, a challenger. So as much as we need someone who will cheer us on, as much as we need a motivator, as much as we need someone who will sing our praise and tell us where we're good at, we also need someone who challenges us to step out of our comfort zone. I'm not talking about a critic. I'm not talking about someone who wants to pull you down. I'm talking about someone who wants to build you from the vision of, hey, you are actually better than what you're doing. You're stronger than this. Yes, you've conquered this level. You can do the next one. Someone who will not let you settle. Someone who will give you constructive feedback for the purpose of helping you grow. Okay? So this type of friend plays a crucial role, especially when you need to do things to step out of the things that require you to step out of your comfort zone to grow. They are the friends who help you not stay in a place of defeat for long. You know, as women, sometimes we stay too long in our place of defeat, in our place of failure. And whatever we describe as defeat and failure, that's another topic for another day. Okay? Because it is only failure if you learn nothing from it. But that's not what we're discussing today. Every time we set out to do something and it looks as if we don't attain it, we tend to sit in a place of mourning for too long. We mourn relationships, we mourn unachieved goals, we mourn dead dreams. For way too long as women, we sit down and we lick old wounds. Wounds that are that represent defeat, wounds that represent self-doubt. We sit there too long. So you need that friend who will not let you play it safe, who will push you to take risks, who will push you to do more than what you're currently doing. A friend who will encourage you to courageously face that challenge and keep going when you are terrified. You know, the one you can call and say, I am scared. Knowing fully well what you will hear from the other end. Knowing that what you will hear from the other end will give you the energy to take the next step. someone you can be vulnerable before. Okay? So, again, because as women, we tend to be perfectionists, right? We want everything to go well. We don't want to, we try to avoid any situation where there's any mistake or where something is not absolutely perfect, because we've been trained to perform. And we want to manage our image. We want to manage the situation. We want to manage the way we're perceived. Because God forbid that we fail, right? God forbid that we do something that is not perfect. We internalize it and we take it to mean that's who we are, right? So because we are like that, we care so much about image and we internalize everything, and we make everything as a referendum on our ability, on our worth. We need someone who will look out for us and say, look, that is what happened to you. That is not who you are. That is the mistake you made. That is not who you are. Now get up, shake yourself up, and keep going again. We need that challenger. We need someone who will not just say, oh, you're good enough, you're good enough. No, you can do better. Okay? She will help encourage you to even try things you've never done before, or to go back to places where you have failed and try again. As long as you've learned your lessons and you now know what not to do. You try again. You fail again, she pushes you again. Yes, what are the new lessons? What can we do differently? I'm here for you. I'm cheering you on, and I'm supporting you. Someone who challenges you to take risks and put yourself out there. You know, by doing that, you might even discover parts of yourself that you never knew existed. You might discover passions you did not know you had. You might discover dreams and talents that you had long buried. We need a challenger. Anybody knows a challenger in their lives? Put something in the comment section for me. Or if you have questions, if it's not clear or you want us to discuss it more, I'm excited to answer those questions and to engage in those conversations. The third friend that every woman needs to fulfill purpose is the influencer. And when I talk about influencing these days, what immediately jumps to mind is social media influencing. That's not what I'm talking about. I do not mean a social media influencer. I mean a characteristic of a friend or a support group that influences you to do great things. That's what I'm talking about. They play a critical role in helping you achieve your goals and to reach your potential. They do this by leveraging their connection and expertise. So people who will use their expertise to make your life better. People who are willing to expose you to their connections to make you better, or just say, hey, I'll go with you. Neither of us has been there before, but you know what? I'll go with you. Or call me when you get there. Call me, just somebody who you know is in your corner. Somebody who will say, yes, you can do it. Go, I'll drive you there. Or, you know, I'll find a number for you to call. Or if they don't have a number, they just encourage you and say, take the step. By leveraging these connections, they open doors and they create opportunities that might not have been possible anyway. Do you know people who only exercise because they have a friend who is coming to get them? Do you know women who will only go to the gym because their friend is waiting outside at 5:45 and she's going to sit on her horn until you come out and you go to that gym together? That's influence. That's someone who is giving you a reason to do what you might not have done for your own benefit. This is the friend who does not try to stifle you. They don't try to make you conform to their own personality or their own vision. What they want to do is help release you into your own brightness, into your own shining, into your own vision. They will support you in any way. They don't try to use you to fulfill their own dreams or their own visions. They just want to support your dream and your vision. Someone who can introduce you to new people, to their own circle of influence. They can share resources and opportunities and expand your network. But here is the key. They are not doing it for personal aggrandizement. They are not doing it to be noticed or to be to show off and say, oh, if it wasn't for me, she won't get there. That's not the reason why they're doing it. People who do that are not your influencers. I'm talking about influencers are people who are not doing it to buy your loyalty. They're not doing it for any reason other than, this is my friend, this is her need, and this is my way to support her. Or this is a member of my community who needs a resource I have access to, and I'm providing it. That said, the cheerleader, the influencer, and the challenger are three friends that you need, or communities that you need, that will help you thrive. They are the kinds of people that you need to stay around. So those are the three friends you need. Are there any questions? Leave for me in the comment section. If you agree, if you understand or resonate with the things that I've said, please also leave it for me in the comment section. I love to get your feedback. So we're going into part 2. We're going into the not so pleasant section of this episode today. But you know what needs to be done, right? So we've discussed 3 friends that you need to grow. We're about to discuss 3 friends you need to stay away from. I'm talking about friends, communities, family even, that can hold you back or even harm your progress as a woman who wants to live limitless. Your vision is yours. You need to incubate it. You need to treasure it. You're the only one who knows what it is and where you got it from, and the journey that brought you to where you are. So it's important for us to begin to recognize these negative behaviors and begin to set boundaries to protect ourselves from toxic relationships. The extent to which you protect yourself will also depend on what that relationship is. Sometimes it just means stepping back. Sometimes it means cutting off. Sometimes it means sitting the person down to have a conversation and say, we're not going to do this. But you need to set boundaries. You need to know how far you can go and how far you need to go and how much energy really you need to put into it. Number 1 friend to keep at an arm's length is negative Nancy. Apologies to anyone who is listening whose name is Nancy. It's just a term used for someone who complains constantly. That person just brings negativity and drains your energy. I'm sure as I'm speaking right now, don't look at anyone, but you can think of that one person who every time you have a conversation with, you are just tired from inside. You are drained. After every encounter, you just wonder, what was that about? Every single time. Those people never have anything positive to say about anything or anybody. There's a complaint for every situation. There's a complaint for everybody. So negative Nancy will drain your energy. They will sabotage your dream, and they will hold you back from reaching your full potential. Rather than a negative Nancy, you need to find yourself people who will lift you, who will encourage you, and who will support your goals. Negative Nancy will sabotage your dreams. They do that by saying things like, oh, that's too risky. Oh, you'll never make it. In 2020, I had a friend who did that same thing, and here's how much trouble they got into. Blah, 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 that person tried it, and they are in trouble right now. Very soon, you start doubting yourself, and eventually you'll quit on that dream if you stay around negative Nancy. Now, I'm not talking about people who are asking you to check again, or who see a fault and they're bringing to your attention about the plan you have or the project that you shared with them and saying, have you considered this other way? That's not what I'm talking about. There are people that will bring that to your realization. What that requires of you is to check and make double sure that you have checked whatever it is that they're bringing to your notice, and that you've taken care of it. That's not negative Nancy. Negative Nancy just does not see any way forward. Negative Nancy is an emotional burden. She will bring her own negative energy into every conversation. Do you know that person who, when you're sharing a problem you have with them, they have to counter it with a bigger problem they have? Because even in negativity, they have to be better than you, right? Their negativity has to be more than your own negativity. Does that make sense? So, people who, when you complain about life, then they tell you, oh, yours is even small. And then they recount for you their own problem that is even bigger than yours. So you live there, you are worse than when you got there, because everything is just negative. Negative Nancy will hold you back because they shoot down every aspiration you have. You know what? She has a reason why it won't work. She has a reason why you should depend on her and not do anything that she doesn't give you permission to do. If you have such a friend, it will certainly hold you back, and they will only let you shine if you are under their shadow. So unless you do exactly what they would do or what they think is safe for you, and then you don't have their support. That is negative Nancy. That is one friend to put a ruler between you. And again, when I speak about friends, it includes communities in general and all the support group you have in your space. Number 2 friend to stay away from is who I call the competitor. Someone who sees your success as a threat. They always try to undermine what you do, or they outdo you. So if they can't undermine what you do, then they have to do something better than you, because they have to be better, right? And this is very common among women, unfortunately, a spirit of competition where if I can't be better than you, I have to pull you down. Or, you know what, you can go ahead and succeed as long as don't succeed more than me. That's a competitive spirit. That's not a spirit of support. That's not a spirit that will lift you up if you know where you're going. It comes with jealousy and sabotage. This is what I mean. Sometimes it's even a friend who has helped you in the past. They've supported you, but as soon as you become successful, they become envious. And then they start to undermine your achievement and sabotage your effort because they have to maintain that level of superiority. Look, I supported her to become who she is, or I opened that doorway for her. So actually, she's not all that. Like, don't look at her with that level of honor or lifting. She's really not all that. If it wasn't for me, she won't be there. And they have to be superior. They just have to superior. They will undermine you or outdo you before they're satisfied. There is constant comparison. So a friend who is always comparing their achievements to yours, trying to have one up on you. So, oh, I hear you now have this, but are you aware that I have this, that, and that? Because they have to create that unhealthy dynamic that leads to resentment and tension in the relationship. This type of friend will always bring up their own achievements, but they will always try to diminish yours, again, so that they feel superior. It's a situation of, oh, you know what, we're in the same situation, but mine is a bit different because you are in your situation because you are not all that, or because you made a mistake or you did something bad. I'm in the exact same situation, but it wasn't my fault, it was somebody else's fault. That even when you're in the exact same situation, they still have to be superior somehow. That's a competitive friend, and you're not going to get support from them. Lack of support is what happens with a competitive friend. They will never offer you support you need, especially when you need it most. Instead, that is their chance to get ahead of you. So when a competitive friend sees that you're struggling with something, that's the opportunity to do it, and they achieve it so that they have one up on you. And they will not offer you any help or encouragement, or just enough for you not to achieve that thing so that they can still have one up on you. Is that ringing any bell? Did that bring any name to your heart? Of course, you don't have to drop the name, but if you understand what I'm talking about, or if you have any questions about it, please leave something for me in the comment section. So that was Negative Nancy and the competitor. Those are 2 friends to avoid. Number 3 type of friend to keep at arm's length is someone who is not supportive of your goals and dreams, and I title that the dream killer. Okay, so this is someone who actively discourages you from pursuing your dream. They are like, somebody says, Erisco bumped. So there was this device that was used to kill fires. So when there was a fire, you threw it inside the fire, it blows, and then the fire is off. So that dream killer is exactly like that. Every time you are on fire with a vision, with a dream, with passion, they just come like a bomb of explosion, dump on that vision and that dream, and the fire dies. That is their mission. If you notice, they are almost like negative Nancy, but it's different, and I'm going to explain the difference there. The dream killer is someone who will immediately dismiss the ideas that you bring up. They don't even give it time to marinate. Like, it's too risky, and just, you know what, keep your day job. Don't quit your day job, because you're never going to succeed in that. Don't take any risks. You cannot do it. Her negativity and lack of support will make you begin to doubt yourself. You begin to doubt your abilities, and you are likely to, even if you don't kill the dream, you will put it on hold, because they make you so uncertain when you stay around those people. Like I mentioned, while negative Nancy and the dream killer both have negative impacts on your personal and professional growth, here are the differences between the two. So between the dream killer and negative Nancy, they differ, one, in their attitude. Negative Nancy tends to have a pessimistic and negative outlook on life. They just constantly complain, and they bring negativity around everything. While the dream killer tends to have a dismissive attitude towards your dreams and your goals, and they actively discourage you from pursuing your aspirations. So I want you to begin to notice the difference, so that when you see it, the impact is the same, but they are really different people. And sometimes it's the same person that embodies more than one of this. The impact of the two are also different, in that negative Nancy drains your energy and brings down your mood, but they might not necessarily aim at prevent you from achieving your goals. So negative Nancy is not deliberately trying to bring you down. They just have a negative mindset. They just cannot see anything good in anything, and it's in their lives like that too, and they cannot see why you are seeing anything positive. You have to all stay negative. They just have a poor mindset, negative mindset around everything, and the aim is not necessarily to bring you down. While the dream killer, on the other hand, is actively working to discourage you from pursuing your dream. They even make you to begin to doubt your ability and your worth, so that you don't go after that goal, and they just have to have one over you. Are you noticing the difference? Does that make sense? The third thing that differentiates negative Nancy and the dream killer are the intentions. Like I mentioned, negative Nancy might not necessarily have ill intentions. Sometimes they do, but not necessarily. They might just be stuck. That's all they see. That's all they know. They grew up in that setting. They're surrounded by people like that, and they cannot just see past that. They want company in their defeat. They are already living a life of defeat. They just want you to accompany them there. Okay? However, the dream killer here may intentionally try to hold you back, intentionally try to talk bad about you, just to undermine your success. They make people feel, that person, well, yeah, what you see about her is true, but really she's not all that. So don't get carried away. And blah, blah, blah. They find something to make you look less than whatever is being projected. Okay? Due to their own insecurities or jealousy. So those are the distinctions between negative Nancy and the dream killer. Does anybody understand what I'm talking about? And do some names jump to your heart? And what are your comments? Please leave that in the comment section for me. Actually, there are friends and communities where If you stay there, you will never amount to much. I wish I could tell you otherwise. But the truth is that as long as you stay around those people, no matter the size of your dream, you will keep playing small because they will stifle you. And I am a living witness. If you stay around a certain group where they don't have your back, it's all about them, what they can get from you, what they can use you for, you will never fulfill purpose. You will stay small. That potential will be in you. People around you will even say how great you are and how great you can do, but you will not move from that spot until you leave that circle. You will only begin to see the size of your vision after you disconnect from them. It's a very hard thing, especially for women, because we find it very hard to let go. That's why we stay in abusive relationships. That's why we stay in toxic communities. That's why we keep toxic friends. And you say, oh, I've known her for so long. And they never leave. Even when they know someone is not supportive of their dream, they still stay there. However, as you get ready to take your life into your own hand and live a life of purpose and a life without limits, you have to get to a point where you recognize that in order to grow and achieve your potential, you need to distance yourself from the things and the people that hold you back. It is not selfish. It is not evil. It is actually good for you. While being part of a supportive environment and having good friends can be incredibly beneficial in achieving our goal, it's not a do or die either. Don't let the fact that one of these types of friends or even all of them is missing stop you from pursuing purpose. Now, you will not have the support that they give, but nothing says you cannot achieve your dreams even without them. If you have them, I am excited for you. If you do not, your purpose and vision are yours. Incubate them. Incubate them. Work at it and stay committed until you see results. If you have like-minded individuals who share your passions and aspirations, good for you. If, however, you have people who don't have your back, even when their intentions are good, they can be the difference between you achieving your purpose and quitting on it. It's that serious. You must be willing to make the tough choice of letting go of the people who are holding you back. Those who are not helping you to move forward. Trust me, if you hold on to your resolve of wanting to succeed, if you just stay at it and doggedly pursue it, then success will come because you'll be able to pass through that dark tunnel. You know what they say? That there's light at the end of the tunnel. But at the time you're going through that tunnel, it looks as if the darkness will not end. It looks as if you will never attain success. It looks as if victory will never come. Just keep going. If you have encouragers, I'm happy for you. If you have cheerleaders, you are in a very good place. If you have challengers who tell you you can do it, good for you. But whether or not you do, keep moving. Because if you do not stop, you will see that light at the end. There are a lot of people who have crossed that dark tunnel and have arrived at the light. I'm encouraging you to join them. It's not easy. It is possible. And the feeling of fulfillment at the end of that tunnel, no one can describe to you. You have to experience it yourself. Whatever you're going through, just keep going. I'm going to round up now by helping us see and understand a few strategies that we can use to start building and maintaining a supportive network. So whether you have these 3 friends to keep and 3 friends to avoid, does not matter. If you have these skills I'm about to give to you now, there are strategies to continually build and retain a supportive network. Number 1, be intentional about the type of people you allow into your inner circle. everybody cannot be bosom. Everybody cannot be close. Everybody cannot have access. There are acquaintances, there are friends, there are communities, there are neighbors. But everyone can't have access if you want to achieve purpose. You have to be careful that you are only allowing people who have your best interest at heart, who will support your dreams and your goals, whether they understand it or not. It is your dream, not theirs. It is your goals, not theirs. Why does a good, well-intentioned person have to understand it to support you? They're supporting you and the relationship that is between you and them, right? So you don't even have to agree or understand everything I'm doing. What I need from you is, look, I'm going to be there. I'm going to stay with you until you recognize this wrong you're doing, because I will not quit on you. Have you met people who say, look, I disagree with what you're doing, but I'm your friend and I'm not going anywhere. Together we'll go through this darkness, and when we arrive at the other end, you will see that all the things that I've been telling you are true. They don't go around talking about you. They stay there with you. Those are the kind of people you need in your inner cycle. So when you meet a new person, don't lose guard. Don't just drop all your guard before you know them. Don't invite them into the innermost part of your life. Start to check. Do they align with your vision? Do they align with your dreams? Do they align with your values? Are they worth the time I want to invest into this relationship? Are they worth releasing my energy to? Number 2, prioritize quality over quantity. You see, having a large number of friends does not mean that you have a supportive network. It might just mean you have a large group of gossips around you. So it's more important to have a few close friends who are reliable, who are good, who are there for you through thick and thin, so that you can focus on cultivating a deep and meaningful relationship with them, because they understand you, because they support you, because they understand your vision for life, because they know that you are a good person inside you, and you are not your mistakes, and you are not the thing that somebody else said about you, and you are not the thing that you did. You are their friend, and they know that your values are good and that you are a good person, and they're going to be there for you. So rather than have a large group of people who add zero value or keep drawing from you and adding nothing, you're better off with a few solid friends. Number 3, set boundaries with negative and unsupportive people. So the 3 friends we have listed to avoid, you have to protect your mental wellness from these people by setting boundaries. They drain you, they bring negativity into your life. It means you need to limit the amount of time you spend with them if they are close enough that you don't want to cut off the relationship completely. Otherwise, you know what? Cutting them out of your life altogether is not selfish. It's actually what you need to do for your mental well-being, and so that you can achieve your purpose and live a limitless life. It's difficult. What I'm saying is not that I'm unaware that it's very difficult for us, especially as women, to say no to people that we've created a bond of sort with. But remember that you have the power to decide who gets access to your time, to your energy, and to your purpose. Number 4, and the last strategy I'm going to give you tonight, be open to new connections and networking opportunities. Come on. You can build a supportive network. You just need to open yourself to meeting new people. You need to be able to expand your circle, attend events, attend groups, connect with people who are like-minded, find people who enjoy the same thing or have similar goals, and begin to associate with them. Be proactive. Again, you don't drop your guard right away, but you never know who you might meet. You never know who can come into your circle of influence, who suddenly That thing you've been unable to do for so long is just right in front of you. And you meet so much support and you wonder, where have these people been all my life? Being intentional about the type of people you let into your life, prioritizing quality over quantity in your friendships, setting boundaries with negative or unsupportive people, and being open to new connections and networking opportunities. Those are your strategies for building good, solid support networks. You can do this and ensure that you achieve a life that is fulfilling. So I encourage you, reflect on your own friendships. Reflect on the support system you have around you. What's the network around you? Who are the people around you? Who are the people you lend your energy to? Who are the people you give your time? Who are the people you align your life and your purpose with? And as an assignment, I'm going to ask you, do you have a cheerleader or cheerleaders? What made you choose them? What made you identify them? Why do you think they're your cheerleaders? What are the qualities in them? I want you to dig deep. What did you see in them? Why do you open yourself to them? Why do you trust them? What have they done to earn that trust that makes them your cheerleader? Drop something for me in the comment section if you come up with it. I'm not expecting to see people's names or anything that you're not open to sharing, but absolutely let me know who you consider a cheerleader, if you have people you consider cheerleaders, and why you chose them. And if you don't, start to think now, what would you like to see in your cheerleader? What are the attributes you're hoping to find in someone who is to become your cheerleader? Because if you don't know what you're looking for, even if it sits in front of you, you won't recognize it. I want you to put something in the comment section so that we can learn from one another and grow together. Remember to download for yourself the Know Yourself worksheet. I'm going to ask the studio to please put it in the comment section again, pin it for you to see. Download that resource and begin to write things down. Begin to write things down so that you don't get distracted and you don't lose sight of who you are and what your values are and how and why you formed them. I thank you so much again for joining me on this episode. I'm learning as much from you as you are learning from me, and I am so glad. Thank you again, and I'll see you next week. Cheers.
You are watching the True Word Television, spreading the true word of salvation.
Ugandans in Canada, have you been missing your favorite organic taste from Uganda like
amatoke, lumonde, amayuni, muwogo, akalo, obusera, katunkuma, amenvu, omulondo, ebijanjalo, endagala, mukene, entula, ebinyeebwa both pounded and nuts, maganjo maize flour for both porridge and posho, goa sugarcane, and many more.
Blessing Supermarket 3601 Lawrence Avenue East in Scarborough is here for you Monday to Thursday 9 a.m. to 8 p.m., Friday to Saturday 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., Sunday 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. You can't miss shopping with us. Call
416-457-3513
or 416-289-9333. See you there!
are watching the True Word Television, spreading the true word of salvation.